name's Christie Cornwell, and I'm going to talk with you about the new obstruction rule and what it means and how you can help your players make effective plays without violating the rule. So the new rule says you can't block the whole base, plate, or base path without being in possession of the ball. So the way, as umpires, we interpret that, we look at the leading edge of the plate or the base, and then we make that a vertical plane. So if your body is standing behind the vertical plane or the leading edge of the plate or the base, you can straddle, and that would not be considered obstruction because the runner still has a portion of the base or the plate that they can get to and the base path. For plays at the plate, we're looking for the catcher to be in fair territory, allowing the runner the back portion of the plate and the base path, to be straddling behind the leading edge, or if they want, to be in foul territory. For plays up the line, we're looking for the catcher, both feet, to be in fair territory, allowing a base path and a portion of the plate, or in foul territory, again allowing the front portion of the base path and the plate to be accessible. If we see a catcher that's set up straddling the line, we would consider this blocking the whole base path or plate because they're now straddling the fair side and the foul side, and their body's in front of the leading edge. So this would be considered obstruction. For errant throws, we allow the catcher to move through the base path, then allowing access to the plate or the base. If the throw draws the catcher into the base path, then we would look at obstruction on that play. Okay, so for plays at a base, we're going to talk about second base. Again, we have to remember that the rule is the defense cannot block the whole base or base path. So this would be considered a valid catch, not obstructing, because the runner would have access to the front edge, the leading edge of the whole base. Straddling behind the leading edge, allowing the runner to have access to the vertical plane, would also be acceptable. Straddling corner to corner would be acceptable, or behind the leading edge on the outfield side of the base would also be acceptable. Setting up in front of the base, setting up with only a portion in front of the base would be acceptable. My setup here allows the runner to have the back portion of second base. Now, I can't tell the runner where she has to slide, so if the runner chooses to slide into me and I do not have possession of the ball at that point, this setup stance, which is not obstruction, can become obstruction depending on how the play develops. Setting up with both of my feet blocking the whole base path or base, this would be considered obstruction. Setting up on the back half of second base, allowing the runner the inside half of second base, this would not be considered obstruction, but again, it could become obstruction if there's physical contact before I have possession of the ball.